All right, guys, we're going to walk through another triangle congruency proof. This one has a lot less given information, so there are some things that we will have to pull out of the proof. So the first thing I want to do is always write down the given information. Now, I like to write down one given information and then, if I can, mark it on the picture, and if I can't, try to draw a conclusion from it. So the fact that these two lines are perpendicular means that I've got some right angles. Now, I don't want to write a lot. Y'all know I'm lazy. So I'm going to label the angles, angle 1 and angle 2. See, what I've got here is that BD, which is right here, is perpendicular to AC, which is right here. So I get those two, angles 1 and angle 2, to be right angles. So I'm going to write that part next. So those are right angles. Well, how do I know that they're right angles? Well, remember, this right here, this symbol means perpendicular, and perpendicular means to intersect at right angles. So that's what I want to write. If what? Well, what do I know? If two line segments are perpendicular, then they make two right angles. So it's all there in the proof. Okay, now I could say that those right angles are congruent because all right angles are congruent, but I don't know that that's necessary yet. And again, I want to do as little work as possible. So now I'm going to go on to the next piece of given information. And the next piece is that AB and BC are congruent. Oh, and I also want to mark these right angles. And I want to mark them more than just congruent. I want to mark them as right angles. So I do want to use that right angle symbol. So it's okay if I don't list the givens in order. So I don't have to do all the givens and then the conclusions. I can work it the way that I want. There is no specific order as long as you don't state something before you know it's true. So I've already done this one, and now I did this one. I do want to mark that on my picture. So here's AB and here's BC. So now I'm going to go through the ways that I can prove these triangles congruent. So let's see, what do we have? We've got an angle. In particular, we have a right angle. And since we have a right angle, I know that there's a specific way that I could prove two triangles are congruent with right angles, and that is hypotenuse leg. So remember this guy, HL, hypotenuse leg. And so what I need with hypotenuse leg is I need a right angle, check. I need a hypotenuse, check. Now I need a leg. Where am I going to get that last leg from? So I stare at my picture for a little bit, and then I notice that BD and BD are in both triangles. So I'm going to write that BD is congruent to itself. BD is congruent to BD, and that is by the reflexive property. Now that's my leg. So now I've got the H and the L. So I've got the hypotenuse and the leg. I'm going to mark it on my picture. And then I can say that the two triangles are congruent. Now remember, guys, the last thing I always want to write is what is the proving statement. So I'm going to write triangle ABD is congruent to triangle CBD. The way those two triangles are congruent, again, is by HL. And I still need three things. So this time I need a right angle to be written, and that happens in step 2. So here's my right angle. Then I need the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse happened in step 3. And my leg happened in step 4. So that's where I'm looking. So here, that was the hypotenuse, or the right angle. Here's the hypotenuse, and here's the leg. So in HL, I won't have 3 congruency symbols. I'll have 2 congruency symbols and a right angle.